Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to a video that really should have been made 6 months ago. I'm going to be showing you how to repair your mirrors in your 2002 Mercury Cougar. It's currently kind of chilly. Weather's been off and on. It's Indiana, so the weather really sucks most of the time. Just wanted to mention before we start this video that I am not liable for any damages that happen, or if you hurt yourself, which I end up cutting one of my fingers in the video. It's not bad. This video is just to show you the steps included on how to replace your mirrors. In this video I only do the passenger side, the right side of the vehicle. However, it is the exact same for both sides. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, I apologize if my voice is a little flat in this video. I did another voiceover, so sitting in my room trying to be quiet, people are working, so apologize in advance. To start off, you may want to roll down your window. It'll make this process a lot easier. Next, you're going to find these two bolts. They are Torx 15 on the outside of the door near the handle. Be sure to keep track of all your screws and any other parts. Next, you're going to start with this Cougar cap. You'll want to remove that. However, don't be like me and don't use pliers to try and remove that. You could damage the emblem. Just go ahead and pry it out with your hand if you can. This task is a little difficult, but it will come out if you are patient. There will be a Phillips head under here, Phillips tooth. When I unscrewed this, I couldn't get it to come all the way out, so I tried using some other things to pry it out. Just leave it in there. I didn't have to take it out, it'll stay. Next, you want to find this little piece right under where you just took the cap out and just pull that out. And there's also Phillips head 2 screw, so the same for the one that was inside the door handle. Just unscrew that, this one will come out. The next one over here is towards the inside of the door. This is a Torx as well. I believe it's the same size as the ones on the outside of the door. I had a hard time trying to find this one. I kept moving the screwdriver around just looking for it. Eventually I found it. So if this ever happens to you, just make sure you keep pressure on the screw. Okay, so here I finally got it and I'm just pulling it out. On the inside of the door, there's one more Torx screw. It is tight in here, so make sure you have a screwdriver that's short enough. And then here's where all the screws were that we just took out. I missed the one that is on the inside of the door. And then I have them laid in my toolbox, just keeping track of them. And from here, the door card should pop off. You want to lift up. Just give a little bit of force. It shouldn't require too much. And then there's this little metal bracket piece that I use to rest the door card on. You will need to move it out of the way to remove this plastic guard over the bolts on the mirror. Here you want to try and slide it. There's a plastic piece in behind it that holds it in place, so you want to push it forward and it should pop out. I didn't break anything, it just looked very violent. That piece right there, all you had to do was just pull it out. It's a little worn, so I'm not too worried about it. You want to peel back this rubber protecting all of the bolts and the wire for the power mirrors. There is adhesive, so I'd be careful if you don't want to have to replace or put more adhesive on there. Just pointing out where all the nuts are. You want to be careful with this one because it is inside of the door and you could lose that. Here you want to grab a 8mm. I used an extension for the one that was inside the door. You don't need it for the two right here. Make sure you remove any broken pieces like I had here. I had to lift the door card up off of the bracket and rest it on my leg to get to the one in the bottom. Be careful because you can cut yourself removing stuff. Go ahead and try and remove these other broken parts. Had trouble with this one, couldn't really pull it out. Eventually I got it just using some pliers. Go ahead and, if you can, check to make sure the bolts are the same size, to make sure you have the right mirror. Here, putting it in, you have to almost close the door. Since you have the door card off, you don't want to close it all the way, but get it as close as you can so you can slide the plastic part of the mirror under the front fender. I lost the little wires to the power part of the mirror down in the door card. Just try to keep track of that. Go ahead and before you plug it in, see if you retained the little clip that goes on it, and put that on and then plug it in. Now that it's in, you want to go ahead and test it, make sure everything's working. Then go ahead and put in the nuts holding it on. Again, be careful with this one here. You can lose that in the door. Make sure they're all snug. You don't want to tighten them too much, but just enough to make sure that they won't back out. Be sure to lift this little piece up and into the little slot here. I'm not quite sure what to call it. And then putting this plastic piece back on, you want to use a lot of pressure and just try your best to push it down on that little white plastic piece. There's a little slot for it to slide into on the plastic cover. It just took a lot of trial and error, but eventually I got it. And then go ahead and push in this little clip. You'll see here that there is a little clip on the plastic piece that you just put on. You want to slide the door card over that, and then also slide it into the little valley where the window comes up, and it should rest there. Try not to lose these parts. They hold in the door card. However, this car is so old, the clips break. So go ahead and grab your Torx 15 bit again and start working them in, just putting all the bolts back in the same way you took them out. Go back to the Phillips head. Go ahead and pop the little thing back in there. I'm not quite sure what to call it. Then go ahead and tighten down the one where the emblem goes. Pop the emblem back in. And then grab your Torx one last time. And that should be it. The door should be back in, and you should have a new mirror attached. There shouldn't be any play in any of the parts. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.